Very, very happy with what I've seen so far with the team, starting with the first years. They've brought the base level of our talent and energy up considerably since last year. So practices are even faster than ever, and guys are looking better than ever in terms of athleticism and soccer skills. So I think that'll translate into games really well. We should be obviously another really strong competitor for the conference title and going farther into the national tournament. Hopefully, if we get there, we'll make another deep run.
So I think it's definitely tough losing 10 seniors. I mean, not just on the field, but also off the field. They bring a lot of leadership, maturity to the team. So that's definitely something that we've addressed in preseason about how other guys are going to have to step up. We have a large junior class now, and in the past, they've kind of been in the shadow of that senior class as well as the seniors now. So it's now one of these deals where we all have to step up and make sure that we're kind of guiding. We have 9 freshmen, our first years. So we got to make sure that we're guiding them to making good decisions, and also just kind of picking up the slack maturity wise, but also just off the field, on the field, being vocal, leading the team. And then I also think that it also gives a lot of room for younger guys to step up. I think that coming into this year we have a very large junior class and a pretty big senior class, and I think that with all the guys who just graduated, it'll give room for some of those guys to really shine and kind of flex their leadership muscles a little bit.
I think we definitely recognize that there's going to be a target on our back throughout the season, given the success we've had last year and the year before that. But at the same time, I think we're absolutely ready for that. I think, if you look at our roster, the starting lineup, everybody's played in extremely big games in the past, whether it's NCAA tournament or conference championship games. So I think with that just comes experience and a little bit of poise that will do us really well when we come to those big games. I mean, we have extremely tough non-conference matchups, so I think that experience from playing in conference championships and in the NCAA tournament will just benefit us when we get to those tough games throughout the year. I think we're ready for it. I mean, every year it seems like we're graduating phenomenal players, but every year somebody else steps up, and it's a senior that then becomes, in that starring role, and it's those juniors that are becoming all conference players, and that just seems to be the pattern every year. So, I think we're ready for that target on our backs, and I think we're going to have another successful year.
We've had a few talks and team meetings after our practices this preseason, and during those talks, some really great goals have come out of it. Everything from being all in, that's also one of our strength and conditioning goals for the year, to communicating. I think on and off the field, we need to be louder, especially as us captains go. We can lead with our voices, and we want to continue to do that. And then also just talking as a team and talking different problems out is something that we knew we should be doing in the past. But this year, if something comes up, Coach Rainier really wants us to get on that and get everybody on board, adding their voices to reaching a solution. So that's kind of both sides goal for us, but obviously a three-peat, another conference title is on our minds. A deep run in NCAAs also in our minds. We've been so close yet so far, so we're ready for that this year.
I think playing on this team has been the most rewarding and memorable experience probably of my whole life. Just the connections I've built with members of the team have been absolutely phenomenal. Every single day, there's different alumni texting me asking, how the beep test went on the first day of preseason, how our preseason scrimmages went. Just little things like that make you feel like you're playing for something that's a little bit bigger than yourself. So, I mean, going into your senior year, you're kind of counting down the days a little bit, where each practice becomes more meaningful. Each game has a little bit of extra added value to it. And it's really just exciting. Everything just becomes that much more fun. You can play a little more loose. just knowing that it's the last time you're really going to have a competitive environment like this to play with, and the last time you're going to be playing and going out practicing with your brothers each and every single day. So to me, it's just added a little more. It's just been a little more meaningful this senior year so far, and every practice has just been a little bit more enjoyable. And I certainly want to extend the season as far as we possibly can, hopefully deep into November and December, and make a run at things.
Yeah, so I can't imagine Haverford without Haverford men's soccer. All my best friends have been on the team. I don't think I've ever really experienced such a closely knit group of guys. In all my years playing soccer, there's never been kind of the bonds that I have on this team, and I've had with the guys that have graduated and the guys that come in. On that front, it's really defined my Haverford experience in a really great way. But then on top of the soccer, I think that as a person, I've grown up a lot in the program. I think that as athletes, especially in our program, we have a lot of expectations, and I think over the course of 4 years, you'll see that guys really grow up and mature and become better people. So I think from that perspective as well, I'm forever grateful for the lessons that I've learned and kind of the way I carry myself, and I credit a lot of that to this team. And it's something that once you're a part of it, you don't kind of just it doesn't graduate with you. You're not done when you graduate. It's kind of something that lives on, and we're starting a lot of mentorship programs and kind of finding ways for alums to reconnect with players, and I plan on continuing that. So I'm very grateful.
I'm going to miss so many different things about the program. I think, namely, just the atmosphere in the locker room is so upbeat, and it's just one of those places that feels so good to go back into after a hard practice or a really hard-fought game. Playing some music, just being around people that we've come to know and love so closely after 4 years. So I'm gonna miss that. Just those moments, probably the most of anything.
Once again this year, I think we're going to be one of the top teams in D3 soccer. So if you want to come out and watch a pretty exciting brand of soccer, we like to keep the ball. We're not like some other D3 college teams that like to kick and chase and kind of just boot it a little more. We like to keep possession, pass a little more, really get into some nice sequences. In addition, I think if you come to a game, just watch the energy from our bench. Each and every member on the team, top to bottom, is fully engaged in the game, just yelling the entire game from the bench. There's just a certain energy and vibe that comes with our program that is really exciting. So definitely make your way out to the Walton stands and come watch us for sure.
And just know that it really does make a difference when people come out and watch. It's not something that it might seem like we don't kind of pay attention to the fans when we're on the field, but it does matter to know that people come out and support us and appreciate what we do. Because at the end of the day, we are representing Haverford, and that's something we always keep in the back of our minds when we go to some of our rivals. So just know that it does go a long way, and we love to have you guys out there all the time.
Yeah, if you want us to do better, that's a reason to come. I think we all play better when there are more people in the stands, and we can really feel when the community's behind us. So that's just the extra 12th man boost we sometimes need to get through really, really tough games.